Daniel Jeremiah, Mike, had one moment where he said he reverse engineers his notes sometimes too. That, for instance, with Rueben Bain, he never wrote down once watching tape, watching film, watching a game, his arms are too short.
Right.
But then you go to the combine and his arms are too short, and you're like, I never wrote that down. Where if he does write it down and then the arms are too short, that's not a box check. That might be a box X'd potentially. Where do you stand on the subject of Rueben Bain's vines, to use your phrase, about his arms, Mike? What about that?
First of all, I'd like to hear somebody tell me why the arm measurements from the Senior Bowl to the Combine are so different. And I'm not talking about Bain, but
right. They get longer. They get longer, right?
It's one of the things I cross-check every year. Like the Senior Bowl is longer this year than the Combine, and I'm just like,
I don't know.
He's barely under 31 inches. So the question is, does that make a difference? And I would say most of the time it does. And the difference is you've got to have elite power to be able to get in tight on a tackle if you got 31-inch arms. And I also believe that with the guy I just mentioned, Romello Height was short. Like, do you have the power to get inside? Okay. And you look at someone like Fano. Fano's now an offensive tackle. They're talking about moving to guard, but his feet are so good. He just has short arms, a little bit like Will Campbell. And I liked what Vrabel said after the Super Bowl. He was like, hey, he played a lot of good football for us. He was hurt. He's not moving from left tackle. I don't want to hear the arm thing. For an offensive tackle, if you have short arms, what happens is you kind of shorten the corner. You make an easier corner to turn for all those speed guys. But to answer your original question about Bain, I actually did what you just said Daniel did. I went back after the Combine last night, and I pulled all my notes out on Bain and Romello Height, because in my notes, if a guy gets stuck on blocks too often, that's a red flag to go look to see his arm length. And I do have some Bain getting stuck. I do have some Romello Height getting stuck. Now, that doesn't mean every player gets stuck occasionally, and I'm not trying to make this an issue.
Right.
I do believe Rueben Bain's power and its explosion is more than enough to offset his short arm.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.